Next story I want to hit on. This is actually really, really interesting what's happening in Washington. There's pure, flat out panic in the minds of Democrats in Washington as they realize that the Durham investigation, this is now to be clear, with inside the Department of Justice, you have Attorney General Barr, who's told Congress clearly there was spying on the Trump campaign during his campaign, clearly ongoing after he was elected. Clearly there was use of the FISA warrants, the FBI, to spy on the Trump team. And Attorney General Barr, said months ago to Congress that he was going to investigate, to get to the bottom of it. What is the reason for the launching of this Russia-Trump collusion hoax? What is the predicate? What is the genesis? How did it get started? So Attorney General Barr saying we're doing this. The Democrats thought nothing they did, and the DOJ and the FBI thought nothing they did would ever see the light of day because Hillary Clinton would win the race in 2016 and all be swept under the rug. Barr saying not so fast. So he's looking into the beginnings of the Russia-Trump collusion, what happened, and he has assigned a U.S. attorney who is now deeply, Attorney General, U.S. Attorney Durham, deeply looking into what exactly happened and how it got started and who facilitated it. There are dozens of people in Washington very, very, very worried. This past week, the one little after, since my last show last Thursday, the one development particular one to mention was that there's now acknowledgement that this has gone from an investigation into a criminal investigation. This has crossed a line into a criminal investigation, which isn't just a scary term, a scary label. It carries power with it for the investigators moving forward, the DOJ, to get to the bottom of it, because now they're investigating a crime. So people know inside Washington that the criminal investigation is happening. So I want to just mention 2 or 3 or 4 maybe pieces of evidence of what tells you how panicked the Democrats are. Number one, you have not only the Washington Post, the kind of left-wing news, but you have the media and Democrat leaders starting to actually say out loud in public that it looks like President Trump is using the Department of Justice for political purposes. I want you to let that sink in. These people who orchestrated, who permitted, who enabled, who hid, who helped try to sweep under the rug this massive effort inside the DOJ and FBI to take down candidate Trump and then President Trump are now lamenting to the American people that trying to get to the bottom of what they did, that investigation, what Barr and Durham are doing, that investigation is what you're supposed to think of as the DOJ using its power against its political enemies. I mean to tell you, in fact, a statement by one of them, I think this was Adam Schiff, I'm going to tell you who it was. Adam Schiff said, William Barr, our U.S. Attorney General, William Barr, this is Schiff's quote, is Trump's tool. He's weaponizing the Justice Department to go after the president's enemies. I mean, if they gave a Nobel Peace Prize for audacity, for, hypocrisy on steroids, he would have to win it. Schiff would win. The entire coup to take down Trump was ongoing. This was okay with Schiff. This was okay. But the idea that someone wants to get to the bottom of it, that, my friends, Schiff is saying is contortion, twisting the use of the Justice Department. I mean, the idea that he can even look himself in the mirror and not just turn red and faint with embarrassment is beyond belief. So that is one line you'll see out of the Democrat media mob, left-wingers in Washington, Washington Post, all sorts of the left-wing news is, oh, look what Trump is doing now. He's using the DOJ to attack his political enemies, which is what he's doing is uncovering how the DOJ and the FBI were used by the previous administration to attack their enemies. It's almost unbelievable. The second thing I was going to mention was it turns out that Andrew McCabe, you may remember when he was let go by the FBI, before long, he filed a wrongful termination lawsuit. Okay, as you're just hearing, Sidney Powell recounting, he's on the team inside the DOJ and FBI, talking about how to entrap Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, how to bring him down. That guy finally gets fired, and he sues the FBI for wrongful termination. This was several months ago. But when I in this little segment, I'm talking about the panic setting in the Democrat side, he has withdrawn his lawsuit. He's saying, never mind about that wrongful termination suit. Now, there are people saying, and it probably is true, that, if he's going to be accused of a crime, which I'm almost sure he will be, McCabe, you have a Fifth Amendment right to not incriminate yourself. A Fifth Amendment right to say, I refuse to testify. Take 5, I refuse to testify. But you can waive that privilege against self-incrimination if you're volunteering to speak in public, if you're volunteering, as he is, in this litigation. So a lot of people are saying, he realized I'm in deep yogurt in this investigation Durham is doing. I'm probably going to be charged, and I better get this lawsuit, the wrongful termination lawsuit, dismissed before someone can argue I've already waived my Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination by all this stuff I've been saying in this lawsuit. So we have, in fact, I was going to mention something. So we have him obviously panicking, going, never mind about that. I'm not going to sue you about the wrongful termination. I want to mention one other thing that Attorney General Barr did. There was a press conference actually just this morning. I couldn't get the clip fast enough to have it ready for you today, but Barr was asked about these statements by Schiff and members of the left-wing media mob about, this is Barr weaponizing the DOJ against the president's enemies. The Barr is in Trump's pocket. And, I got to tell you, Barr is so unflappable. Attorney General Bill Barr, just unflappable. He's had an interview, I guess, with Fox this morning. He defended the independence and integrity of this investigation. He reminded people that U.S. Attorney John Durham has been chosen by Democrats in the past to do special investigations because he is known for his fairness. He is known for his not being biased. He's known for just his integrity. So he's saying, look, Democrats have been fine with him in the past. He's known for being nonpartisan. He's known for being thorough. He's known for being fair. And so he really brushed aside all this attempt by the left to create some issue about how Durham is somehow politically biased. So this investigation, it is about to really, really break open. We're going to talk about that later in the week, all the pieces falling in place. But this investigation into the genesis of the entire Trump-Russia collusion hoax, of what happened inside the FBI and their targeting of all sorts of innocent people, the CIA apparently orchestrating all the Papadopoulos, et cetera stuff. All that's going to be coming out, it appears, in the next few months. Very, very, very treacherous territory politically for today's Democrat Party.